everyone, today I'll be reviewing this brand new Italian, this animated series just dropped on Netflix called the My Two Cents. And this show, it is from the creator who bought audience here along the dotted line and the world can bring me down. So this famous cartoonist in Italy, his name is Zerocalcare. So this is his third show on Netflix, and in this show we see Zero. He kind of like invest money in his this friend. His name is Wild Bear. We see like he owned this small business in this small neighborhood, and Zero basically he invest money, and later on we find out that Wild Bear is having some difficulties with his business, and Zero somehow get involved into this because he invested money with him. And we see the show shows the audience, there's like when he start investigating like what is happening with the Wild Bear, we find out that there is some organized crime, like the gang member is involved in this. So this show, My Two Cents, it is a little different from the Tear Along the Dotted Line and The World Can Bring Me Down. This series, it brings kind of like a social issue for the adult, especially Zero. He is friend with these people, and this show shows you all the people he went to school with, and they are doing business. And sometimes it can be very difficult when you have invested money in this business with your friend, how to talk to them, and even you might be losing money, you have to go and confront them. But talking to people about this stuff is not easy. Once again, so I have seen both of these shows, Tear Along the Dotted Line and The World Can Bear Me Down. So I personally loved the first show. So if you have seen my review, obviously, I really love the first show, Tear Along the Dotted Line. That show is so funny, and each episode is like 20 to something long, like really short. So when he was telling all the story to the audience, I thought it really moved along very quickly. So this time around, My Two Cents, this series, like each episode is like 40-minute long. One episode was close to 50 or something. So, and this show is telling very complicated story, because end of the day, whenever you bringing story about neighborhood crime or all this organized crime or other stuff, it can be difficult telling the story in a jokey way or make it more complicated way. So I feel like personally, I guess end of the day, I did enjoy the show because I do like Zerocalcare, his joke, and this character Zero. I personally do like him a lot, if I'm being honest here. And some of his jokes are so realistic. Once again, some of his jokes are really realistic here, like who haven't had this scene where your best friend comes to you and talking to you about something like, hey, I need to talk to you about something, and in your mind immediately you are thinking, oh, he's gonna ask me a favor, he's gonna ask me something, all this thing goes into your mind. And it really was very true. I was thinking, man, who hasn't had that, right? Like when your friend comes to you and asks, at the end of that scene, his friend does ask of him something. So once again, some of these jokes are really is very relatable, and all the thing he says here. But unfortunately, I have to be honest here. This time around, as I mentioned, the episodes are 40 minutes or something long. So some of this joke and the way it was done, it does get dragged a lot. Like as the audience, you'd really lose your interest because like this is dragged a lot. Like that scene I'm talking, it was like 10 minutes long. So yeah, it really feels after a while, this kind of joke, it feels annoying, right? Like you as the audience, you feel annoyed by the joke. So not just this is just an example, not just this scene, many other scenes. Unfortunately, some of this scene really gets dragged out so much. I was like really annoyed by it. Instead of enjoying the story, I was annoyed. Also, this time around, I guess the story itself, it is complicated, right? Like he's trying to tell the audience all this thing happening, but he cannot say. So whenever you were watching complicated story, as the audience, you're trying to focus here, like, oh, what is going on, this organizing crime or whatever, like who's going to be the criminal here. So, but when all this scene is dragged out so much, yes, I was very annoyed by some of the like choices here. So it's nothing to do with the Zero, his character, or anything. It's just the editing is not that good this time around, unfortunately. Although still, I did enjoy the show, but I do have to point out what didn't work here, right? Like, so the audience or the creator for the show, next time when they're doing this, they need to keep their episode still that 20-minute long. Otherwise, they will lose interest for the audience. So I recently just came back from Italy, so unfortunately, because I just recently came from there, so and so I do see a little bit like my perspective of this kind of comedy is a little bit tainted, because Italy, at the end of the day, also personal. It's not like here, right? It's not a diverse country like here. So I found it like some of these jokes are like, oh, they're still very relatable. But if I go back and think about it, like I feel like his jokes were for American audience. It's not very authentic, if I'm being honest. It's just my perspective, because I just came from there and it isn't as diverse as Zero think it is. You know what I mean? All the people are still very lovely, but they don't see different colored people every day. So I don't know why Zero always think all this thing, especially some of this, his thinking is very woke. And in Italy, it's like you don't like interact with that much other colored people. So I don't know why he's thinking that way. But anyway, I thought overall I did like this show. If I'm being honest here, I still, if I had to give like a star, I would definitely still give like 3 out of 5 star. But I cannot, of course, like ignore that fact the editing is not that good. Some of the joke really is very over the top and get annoyed, and some of the thing he's talking here, once again, the thing he's talking though, it still is interesting. It's just the way it was done, really over the top. He dragged so much. Even one scene I was enjoying his car and everything. It does like, there's so much scene, pigeon. This guy can write some relatable joke. I'm not saying that. Like, I still thought his jokes are quite funny, but oh wow, I wonder where Zero is from. Is he from Italy or he's from here? I'm really confused, because his jokes are like, oh wow, how you are writing. But I'm gonna say, end of the day, this is still is very entertaining show. So I don't know how much Italian people enjoy this show. So I have no idea about that. So if you enjoy this show from Italy, let me in the comment why you like this show, because like most of time I don't get that, like how much hit it was in Italy. I wonder, because Netflix, this is their 3rd series, so I'm guessing they will be making more. The animation for this time around, I think the animation looks okay, if I'm being honest. I guess some of the character designs are a little bit confusing. Like I was like why they look like that? So then again, for most audience, like you have to see other show to enjoy this one. Like this isn't going to be for brand new audience. Like if you have not seen Tear Along the Dotted Line or The World Can Bring Me Down, you will not, like you will be sometimes lost, obviously. But still, this show is really very entertaining. I personally still like, and that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this? If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to review another show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.